very good evening to you. Well, there has been a wholehearted apology from boxer Dereck Chisora tonight following his press room brawl with David Haye in Munich at the weekend. Chisora could yet be banned for life by the British Boxing Board of Control. As for the retired David Haye, well, he says he'll cooperate with any investigations the boxing authorities set up. Tim Haig's report contains some flash photography.
The fight after the fight that's made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Dereck Chisora and David Haye, two of the biggest names in British heavyweight boxing, coming to blows during a press conference after Chisora had been beaten by Vitaly Klitschko. It's an incident that's brought embarrassment to the sport and has led the British Boxing Board of Control to call Chisora before them on the 14th of March and could lead to a punishment as severe as a life ban.
I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, because, you know, this is a sport that I love. I'm very lucky that I'm employed to administer it to the best I can, and something went wrong at the weekend. And therefore we all have to look at ourselves, take responsibility. But ultimately, two people did something wrong and they have to be dealt with.
Alongside the possibility of sporting sanctions is the threat of criminal charges. The Munich public prosecutor has announced that Haye is being investigated for grievous bodily harm, an offence which carries a prison sentence of at least 6 months. Chisora, suspected of causing malicious injury, could also face jail if found guilty.
It wasn't very easy to see immediately what exactly happened. This is also part of the investigations. What we can see in the videos, and of course there may also be other evidence, it seems to be a case of assault, as well as suspicion of grievous bodily harm, because perhaps a bottle or tripod was also used to hit someone.
Tell me my face then.
Dereck Chisora had been on the stage at the press conference when he left the podium to confront Haye. He's since apologised for his actions in a statement, and after being released by German police yesterday, he's spoken to his promoter about the incident.
Well, he just hung his head, but he said, I was hit in the face he thought it was a glass, but it turns out it's a bottle. I said, but the fact of the matter is, what you've done here, what all of you have done between you is wrong, and it's not acceptable.
David Haye hadn't been seen in public since the fight until he returned home earlier today. Haye has agreed to assist the boxing authorities with any investigations, although the former world champion's ambition to return to the ring could be thwarted by what happened in a Munich press conference. Tim Haig, BBC News.
Well, David Haye's manager received cuts to the head in the fracas. Tonight he's downplayed how he picked up that injury, but he has admitted to the BBC that the incident has tarnished the sport of boxing.
It was just a shame that it happened. A shame because I've always felt that the sport of boxing is the greatest sport, and it's, you know, given me so much joy in 30 years. And if anything happens that makes people that aren't boxing fans look at our sport in a bad light, it's just sad. So it makes me a little bit sad with it.
But the truth is now, if Dereck and David were ever to fight, there'd be much more interest in that fight than there ever would have been beforehand.
So listen, everyone's appalled at the fact that they've just had a fight. So don't ask me to talk about making another fight with them, because that would just be a bit tasteless.
Do you accept the injury on your head is from the bottle David had?
No, it wasn't.
So where was it from?
I know where it was from, but I'm not going to say.
What would you say to those people then who care about your sport, who have been really frustrated by what they saw on Saturday night?
Well, if people care about boxing, then that incident won't put it off them. You know, boxing is a great sport, and if you go through the history and you look at the great sportsmen that it's given us, the amount of lives that boxing helps put on the straight and narrow, the amount of kids it gets off the street, it teaches young boys discipline, it gives them self-confidence, that there's so much that sport does. It's just a shame. That's why I say it's a shame when moments like this happen to put a sour taste on the sport.
Well, it's a busy time for the British Boxing Board of